The U.S. foiled another plot to assassinate a prominent Iranian-American journalist activist, Masih Alinejad. She is best known for campaigning against the Islamic Republic's repression of women. Authorities say the Iranian regime paid members of an Eastern European criminal organization to kill her. Alinejad posted her reaction to Twitter, vowing to continue to speak out against the regime in Tehran.
The same government who was trying to assassinate me, to kill me on US soil, they killed 500 people just in this new revolution. The same government arrested 19,000 innocent protesters. The same government hanged 5 innocent people, and 50 of them are in the death row.
That crackdown on months-long protests is one of the main reasons Iranian Canadians are urging Ottawa to blacklist the IRGC as a terrorist entity. The IRGC is the regime's paramilitary body tasked with protecting the Islamic Republic. That debate is also intensifying in Europe. Hannah Neumann is a German member of European Parliament who says the bloc should blacklist the IRGC. Ms. Neumann, thank you very much for speaking with us. The EU's foreign policy chief said the body cannot list the Iranian regime's IRGC as a terrorist entity until an EU court issues a condemnation. Germany's foreign minister has said she supports the listing. Do you think there is real political will to do this among EU members?
The European Parliament itself cannot do the designation. So the designation has to come from the Council, which is by unanimity of all 27 EU member states. And this is where the debates are right now happening. And we are debating on 2 tracks. The first track is political unanimity. Are really all 27 EU member states in line to put the Revolutionary Guards on the terror list? And here I would say there are some countries that are strongly advocating in favor. That is Germany. Our Foreign Minister, Annalena Baerbock, has been especially outspoken. That is the Netherlands. We have also seen France, for example, shifting its position more towards the listing camp. And there are other member states that are a bit more reluctant. So this is the one debate that we need to have about political majorities for the listing. The other aspect is the legal debate. For a terror listing in the European Union, it needs to have certain legal requirements. For example, the organization needs to have been sentenced in a court for committing acts of terror inside the European Union, or at least investigations have to be ongoing and the prosecutor has to have opened a file. Or the kind of listing can also be built on law procedures in third countries, but then these law procedures need to undergo certain checks if they're in accordance with the European Union standards and all of that. All of that legal scrutiny. So do we have a case on which we can legally build a terror listing? Is at the moment ongoing? I have to admit I'm a bit disappointed. We should have done this work before, but at least now it's working. And we need to wait for the results of the legal scrutiny. And then I hope we will have another push for political majorities to really do the listing.
On the legal side of this, you talked about sort of what needs to be happening there. But when it comes to the United States specifically, they have listed the IRGC. They've done it. Would the U.S. be that third authority in this case, that outside authority?
Well, the legal systems and also the question of requirements for listing between the US and the European Union are apparently different. We are at the moment in the legal scrutiny also looking on specific court cases, specific court verdicts from the United States against the IRGC to see if they withstand basically our European Union approach to it. And this is what legal experts are doing. I myself am not a legal expert, but I trust it's in good hands right now.
Do you think there is the political will that exists right now?
Well, the political will, as I said, is something we're having a lot of debate over at the moment. The European Union Parliament has been crystal clear. Some member states, especially Germany and the Netherlands, have been crystal clear. The president of the Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, in a speech in Davos, has been crystal clear. Others are a bit more wobbly, a bit more unclear. We have seen the Swedish Minister of Foreign Affairs, who is at the moment leading the Council, who has the Council presidency, being rather reluctant on the listing. And this is the political debate that needs to happen while the legal scrutiny is happening.
You say you are against negotiations on the Iran nuclear deal. Now, on the surface at this moment, it appears that the official talks are at a standstill, and that might be optimistic in describing it at a standstill. Are you worried that EU members will go back to talks if the regime is able to temporarily crush protests?
Well, let me be very clear. The nuclear talks are at a standstill since March. March was the second time that the Iranian regime walked away from an almost done deal. Since then, everything is a standstill. So now there are people who want to revive these negotiations, so basically bring everyone back to the negotiation table. I think, and I'm not alone in that right now is not a good moment because the regime, well, for once, I don't think they have any more legitimacy to speak for Iran or the Iranian people based on what they've done in recent months. And to have someone as a, let's say, trustworthy negotiation partner while they are killing their own citizens back home, I really don't think that works. So I don't see an opening at the moment to revive it. The only thing that we can get from reviving it is give this regime some kind of international reputation, legitimacy, which is, I think, the last thing we should do at the moment. So I think they should remain in the freezer. I'm not alone on that. But, well, here also we have some discussions about, frankly said, with Biden, President Biden, who has unofficially declared that it's dead. He's just not going to say it public, but he said that in the video that then became public. With the UK reconsidering its position, with France and Germany being rather outspoken on the listing of the Revolutionary Guards, I really don't see who should at the moment negotiate with whom. I pretty much think at least as long as the brutal crackdown on protests goes on, this deal will remain in the freezer.
Hannah Neumann, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.